What up, dudes? Chuck here. We recently hit 10,000 miles on the Forester XT. So today I'm going to do the second oil change. I'm kind of keeping to the 5,000 mile oil change schedule for whatever reason. Subaru recommends 6, but 5 is just easier in my brain to keep track of. So today we're going to do the second oil change. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to try to answer some questions as we go that I've been getting about our time with the Forester, the first 10,000 miles. So stick around. I'm actually going to throw it on the lift. I know it's not really necessary to do this sort of oil change to use this lift, but the Forester's never been on the lift before. So I figured we'd put it on there, see how high I can get it, given the roof is only 11 feet tall. And we'll just see. We'll see how much I can get under it and just, you know, take a look at the bottom of the car. Let's do it. All right, the Forester's never been on the lift before. It should fit because I measured it before I bought the lift, but it should be interesting to see how this goes. The only thing I'm worried about is maybe fitting on it with the roof rack and not hitting the door. But let's see. All right, we made it. We cleared the roof, no issues. Looks like I had plenty of space on this side. I hugged it pretty close on this side intentionally. So it looks like I could have centered it a little bit better. But overall, looks pretty good. Might need to put the door down to get it all the way up. All right, the Forester's on the lift. Pretty sure we could go up another lock setting, but I don't really feel like fighting with it for now, just because I'm not really doing anything. I'm just doing the oil change. But she fit fine. Anybody who's a little bit concerned about this vehicle on this lift, the lift is rated at 9,000 pounds. This vehicle doesn't even weigh half of that, so should be fine. Don't worry about it. Alrighty, here's the bottom of your Forester. Got the rear diff here, exhaust the whole way through. Looks like your cat is up here. Looks like it's undercoated with some sort of material. It's like a rubbery finish here. Let's see what else we got. So, transmission, our center diff, or whatever you want to call this. Diff oil. Check. Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, here is the drain plug that we installed last time, the Fumoto drain valve. So this should be a pretty easy oil change. You basically just have to drain the oil straight out of this. You don't have to remove it. Somebody in the comments of the last oil change video was upset that I didn't show them how to remove the under tray on this car, and I had to tell them that they're mistaken. There is no under tray on this car. From the factory, this is exactly what you get. There's literally nothing covering the bottom of the engine besides these little metal and plastic skid pans. This is your oil drain valve right here. So if you don't have the Fumoto valve I showed in my last video, you just have basically a bolt that you remove here, the drain plug. Oil will flow out. Anybody concerned about this thing getting ripped off, which I've also heard about in the last video, I mean, it is blocked by all this stuff. It's possible if you're rock crawling or doing something crazy, but it's like completely, I don't know if it's hard to see that, it's like completely under everything through here. So you're gonna rip off a lot of other stuff too if you ever get deep enough to rip that thing off. So unless you're rock crawling, it's really not that big a deal. And then the other thing that I mentioned is that little valve is kind of hidden up there, which is pretty nice. Makes it maybe make it a little bit hard for me to actually undo it, but it's nice that it's not just kind of hanging out here in the open and some like stick or something's gonna get up there and grab it. If you're concerned about that, they do sell a plastic piece that does hug and block that. So let's go ahead and get the oil flowing out. There we go, oil's flowing. Release the valve dumps it out. I didn't see any leaking or anything from the valve, so anybody worried about that, no issues. A big question I always get about the Forester is, does it burn any oil? After that oil consumption issue that Subaru had, I don't know, last year, a couple years ago, whenever they had that lawsuit that they settled. This car, so far, I've not put a drop of oil in it since the last time I changed it, which was 5,000 miles ago. And I check it periodically, but I checked it right before this video just for the sake of this actual discussion we're having right now. And it has not burned a drop of oil that I can tell. It's still on the full mark. I kept it at the full mark, checked it a few times the last time I changed it, checked it periodically between the last change and this one, and hasn't moved. So it's still on the full mark. That's a good sign so far, no oil burning. So yeah, if you're worried about it, maybe they fixed it. Issue 2 that I get asked a lot, it's not really an issue, it's just that people are curious what my thoughts are on the CVT in this thing. And of that 10,000 miles that we currently have on the car, I've driven quite a bit of it. My wife and I will do carpool a reasonable amount of time, and this vehicle is what we carpool in. And it's just our kind of like all-around family vehicle, so it gets driven, you know, more so shared duty, whereas the STI is basically only me. But anyway, the CVT, while it's not a manual transmission car and not really an automatic transmission car either, I guess, if you're talking about the technology, it doesn't really bother me. It doesn't, I don't find that it hangs at, you know, 1 RPM and stays there. It does fluctuate a decent amount. It does feel like it's shifting to me. I pretty much exclusively drive in sport mode, so I don't know if that changes a little bit. I will say that because I'm so used to sport mode, I hate when I forget to put it into sport mode and it stays in intelligent. It drives me crazy because I always think I got the throttle that'll quickly jump up to speed, and it's not there. But the CVT, it hasn't been that annoying to me. Yeah, it's not really an issue thus far. But I guess we'll see about the longevity of it and kind of like whatever other extra maintenance it may require. I don't know, we'll see. So we've had 10,000 miles of trouble-free driving. This vehicle has not been back to the dealer at all for any sort of service. Only maintenance I've done, this is the second oil change. Obviously, stupid consumable stuff like windshield washer fluid, that sort of thing. Outside of that, no issues at all. I do need to rotate the tires here probably pretty soon, so I might do a video on that. But for the most part, we've really enjoyed it. Wear and tear in the interior has been fine. No real issues to note. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. But as far as an owner update, there's not a whole lot to tell you besides it's been great. It's done okay in the light snow and icy conditions that we've had, just on its all-season tires. And yeah, commuting wise, I think we get mid to upper 20s for gas mileage, which isn't horrible. That's kind of like my wife and I combined driving, sport mode, intelligent mode, just kind of a general mix of driving. We haven't really taken it on any trips yet, so I don't know kind of what the like more highway long distance travel time MPG would be, but I'll be happy to update you when we get there. Alrighty, let's go ahead and close the valve. Make sure it fits back into place. Clean this guy off. Maybe a tiny little bit left in the nozzle, but confirmed it's back in there. Nice, cool. So that's it. Down here. Now it's time to put the car down, and everything else is up top. So it's like super easy. Alrighty, let's put her on the ground. Should have moved my kid's car out of the way. It's hard to stand in here, so I'm gonna have to go stand on that side, I guess. right, today we're not going Subaru, we're going Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic 530. The owner's manual I just double checked for the sake of argument. Obviously for the Turbo XT models does require 530. There's a tiny bit of leeway, but 530 is basically the recommended one. And then it says basically this little note right here, must meet or exceed the ILSAC GF5. So this does. Now what made me pick that over the Subaru oil this time? Well, mainly it's a Sunday and the Subaru dealer's closed. I pretty much buy all my filters online through Amazon. I'll put links below to all the stuff I'm using here if you're curious. But I pretty much buy my filters exclusively through Amazon just so I have a few in stock at all times. And the dealer is where I usually buy the oil because it's cheaper. Actually, if you just go there, it's like $6 a quart or something, and the people on Amazon kind of gouge you for the Subaru oil. So I couldn't get it. I need to get it done today. So I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a little bit of research, figured out this still looks good for the cars. I've used it in the past. It's reasonably inexpensive and it's easy to find because you can get it at Walmart or Advanced Auto Parts or whatever. So we'll see how it does. I'll let you know if I notice any weirdness or any difference, but I have a feeling it'll probably be just as fine as the Subaru stuff. And yeah, let's put it in. All right, let's run it. Check the oil, it's not too low. All right, we're gonna let it sit for a minute and then we're gonna come back in and check the oil level, make sure it's topped off. Probably need to put another, I don't know, third to half a quart in there to get the exact 5.4 that the book calls for. But yeah, this oil change, obviously procedure is super easy, doesn't require a lift. I only put it on the lift because I was curious how it fit in the garage and everything. Just fun to use it. You got it, so why not use it? All right, let's see where she's at. Looks like it needs about a half quart. Let's check it one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna give it that extra 0.4, 0.5, and we should be good. Alrighty, so that's it. We've spent 10,000 trouble-free miles with this car. Second oil change. I'll let you guys know what I think of the oil at the next oil change, if I've heard any weird noises or any burning issues or anything else. To summarize the stuff we talked about earlier, in case you've been skipping through the video, no oil burning, no oil consumption thus far with this car. I've never put in anything between oil changes. Not a drop of oil has been put in between oil changes, and it's always been on full. So whether you chalk that up to Subaru has fixed the problem or I've gotten lucky, that is your call. Past that, never been back to the dealer, so it's never had any issues to speak of. This head unit, I don't know if you remember me and the STI talking about the head unit has had some like weirdness here and there. This one's never had any problems, so maybe if I took the STI back, there's like a software reflash or something for it, they could fix it. I don't know. But outside of that, the car's been great. It does everything we want it to do. The wear and tear on the interior still looks great. It's dirty because it's our family car, so we wreck it with stuff. But overall, car's been great. Hopefully for another 100, 150, 200,000 miles, we'll keep driving it. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please ask me any questions you have about the Forester or the STI or just Subaru life in general, and I'd be happy to answer them. Once again, check the description if you're interested in any of the stuff needed to do this. It's very easy. This is one of the easier cars you can do an oil change on, so you might save yourself some time and money. Probably not a whole lot of money, but time is really where I like to save it. I can do this in under an hour at my house. Probably 30 minutes if you're really booking it, whereas driving to the dealer, waiting to the dealer, all that jazz is just drives me crazy. Plus I know it's done exactly how I want it done, and not my car's not in the hands of somebody else. Yeah, so that's all I got. Appreciate you guys watching, and I guess we'll see you next time. Bye bye.